Good morning everyone, welcome to the Voltimum webinar series. My name is Thomas from ABB and I will be your presenter for today's topic, ABB-free at home, making home automation easier than ever. If you have any questions, please use the chat box on the left hand side and I'll answer your questions after the webinar. Today I'll show you how ABB reinvents home automation. With ABB-free at home, ABB makes home automation easier than ever. For you as a contractor, as an architect, builder, and for your customers as well. And within the next 30 minutes, I'm going to prove that. Sitting next to me is Simon Harvey. He will help me with answering some questions after the webinar. Before we start, I'd like to give you some information on Free at Home, what ABB Free at Home is about. Free at Home has been developed by ABB just a year ago and released, and it's a product which is perfectly suitable for the residential market and small commercial buildings. It is the result, I would say, out of a learning curve we made with our much more sophisticated product range KNX. It is back to basics, keep it simple and make it as easy as possible. The agenda for today, I'll start with the most important facts for you, with the product advantages. Later on I'll give you a product overview, just a brief product overview. I'll give you some information on how to install and how to wire Free at Home, and then we'll do a screen share and I'll show you how the system is set up. And at the end I'll give you just one slide with information on our Marcom tools we provide you with to make it easy for you to sell the product. Before I go into details, and for the participants who probably don't know ABB that good, just one slide. ABB is a global leader in power and automation technologies with more than 140,000 employees in more than 100 countries. 2,000 of these employees are here in Australia, and yeah, that means we are near you and close to you. ABB covers the product range, or covers products for power generation, industrial processes, for power transmission and distribution, low voltage products, motors and drives, robots and robot systems, and the products we are here for today for intelligent building systems and home automation. Product advantages. The first and foremost product advantage of Free at Home is technology. The technology we apply in Free at Home is unique and makes home automation easier than ever before. There wasn't such an easy home automation system, and it is determined by its ease of use in terms of system setup. So it's very, very easy for you to set up the system. It is roughly 50 to 75% faster than programming well-known competitor systems. You can do the setup and operation via your smart device. It is a very flexible system. That means that even the end customer can make changes. So he can set up scenes, group controls, time profiles. He can even unlink switches from loads and outputs. And that means that you don't need to come for every single change on site again. And it can be integrated to our ABB Welcome M-Door entry system. That means that our 7-inch touchscreen, which I'll show you later, is on the one hand the indoor station, video indoor station for our door entry system, and on the other hand it's the central control unit, very basic for the home automation system Free at Home. Second big advantage is training. You don't need more than half a day session, and that's probably too much, and this is why you don't need an expensive 5 or more day training course to learn how to program and how to set up a touchscreen, how to set up smart device control, because It's kind of like a wizard you're guided through, and which we'll see later, which makes it very, very easy. And yeah, as I said, training is not required. And last but not least, it's the price. Hardware price is roughly 15 to 20% below our competitor systems. Just an example, a 3-bedroom house is roughly 5K trade price. And in terms of system setup, you'll save valuable labor time and labor costs. The targeted market with free at home, or the market we target with free at home, is residential and small commercial houses and buildings, as I said before. And we have products for new constructions and structural renovations. So we have 2 different types of products, which I will give you details later on. Free at home has been especially developed for the contractor and for the end customer. The product range and the way of system setup is the result, as I said before, of a learning curve we've made with KNX. Keep it simple, paramount objective here. Let's go on with the product overview. The most important product we have in the product range of Free at Home is the so-called system access point. Everything you need to set up the system is in this system access point. It provides a web server which you use to set up the system. That means you don't need to install the software on your laptop, and you don't need to buy anything else. It provides its own Wi-Fi. That means if you come on site and the site is not ready or the network is not available at this point of time, it doesn't matter. You connect your smart device or your laptop directly to the system access point and you are ready to go. Afterwards, it can be integrated in the local network, and it's just another participant like your laptop as well. The system access point is also the product that allows the end customer to make changes him or herself. And yeah, it's the gateway to your the smart control devices. Zenit is our switch range for free at home. We have here in Australia. It comes with 2-gang switches and 4-gang switches with movement detectors and as a room thermostat. You can get the 2-gang and 4-gang switches with different exchangeable icons. Of course, there are many more colors which you can combine. So you can, for example, use a white cover of the 2-gang switch with an anthracite frame. There will be a second switch range available, Future Linear. It is bigger than Zenit and therefore good for elderly care centers, for example, in different colors as well. I have some technical problems at the moment. I can't see the next slide. We'll figure it out. Back in 1 minute. Sorry for the technical issues. I'll go on with the next slide. It's our 7-inch touchscreen. The 7-inch touchscreen is on the one hand the indoor station, and on the other hand the central control unit for free at home. It is a 7-inch capacitive touch, and it's a very basic control unit. That means that you can have up to 16 configurable free at home functions on that, and it's pretty easy to set it up as well. And of course, a home automation system comes with different types of outputs and inputs. We have several MDRC devices like relays sitting in the consumer unit, dimmers as well, and several flush mounted products for the wall, such as the switches and switches with inbuilt relay, or binary inputs to make any dump switch smart, for instance. That we have switches with inbuilt relay, that leads me to the installation and wiring of free at home, because we have two different ways of wiring, and therefore I'd like to show you a video. This video doesn't come with an audio signal, so I'll comment on it. You can see here how the wiring has to be done. Every device needs to be connected once to our 2-wire bus line, and so that means that in retrofits, for example, that you can utilize the existing 240 volt cable, and you just need to reconnect the twisted pair cable, which can be done in different ways, daisy chain, tree or star connection as shown in the video. You can have in free at home up to 64 devices. One device can be, for example, a 4-gang relay or a switch. And this is the centralized way of installation. That means that you have all your outputs sitting in the consumer unit, and you trigger commands via your switches on the wall, and all consumers are wired back to the consumer unit, where the relay switches on or off a light, for example. The second way of installation is the so-called decentralized installation, where you have the output sitting behind your switch, hidden in the wall, which makes it easy to exchange a an old switch with a free at home switch, and yeah, it saves you a lot of time in wiring and a lot of cost in installation. And you can combine these two different ways of installation as it is required in the house. Just a quick summary of the video. On the left hand side the centralized installation one more time, and on the right hand side the decentralized installation, which shows the differences between these two installation types on one page. So centralized, all the outputs in the consumer unit, the switches on the wall, every free at home device connected once with the free at home bus, and the consumers are connected to, are wired back to the consumer unit. Decentralized installation, input and output in one device in the switch with inbuilt output, switch relay, dimmer or blind relay, for example. But enough slides for now. What is more important is how easy it is, and to show you how easy it is to set up the system, we will now share a video, or we will now share a screen and a camera, which will show a demo board. On the demo board there are 5 different free at home devices, and on the second screen you will see the computer screen, which so you should now see the demo board on the left hand side, and on the right hand side my Firefox, the web browser Firefox, which I need to set up the system. Just a quick overview on the board. You see 3 devices. On the left hand side you see a 4-gang switch with inbuilt dimmer. The switch in the middle is a 2-gang switch with inbuilt blind relay, and the switch on the right hand side is a room thermostat. The system access point is the white box. Underneath the system access point is the power supply, and in here is a little consumer, a little light bulb, and these 2 arrows show in which direction the blind is moving. Let's presume that we come on site and everything is wired and installed, and what we need to do now is we need to connect our iPad, our tablet, our laptop, doesn't matter which device we want to use to set up the system, but we need to connect it to the system access point. As I said before, it comes with an inbuilt Wi-Fi, and you get all the information you need to connect your device with the Wi-Fi network of the system access point, written on the inside on the right hand side in the corner. After that you just need to type in the IP address of the system access point, and this is the page that comes up. What I've done previously is I've chosen the language, I set the location for internal time settings, and that's it. And then you're directly guided through to the main menu, and the main menu is kind of like a wizard. You see here just one enabled item, so-called house structure, and you should see dark items over here. These are the following 4 steps, which I can't work with at the moment because I have to start with step 1. So let's start with creating the house structure. We are now in our working area. This is the main part of the working area. Here I can do whatever I want. I can, in this case, I create my house structure over here. In the bottom bar are devices I can work with at the moment, and on the right hand side is a list view which gives you an overview what you've done so far. And from now on it's just drag and drop, and I'll repeat myself now very often, it's just drag and drop. So drag an item and drop it in the working area. And now we've created our first floor of the house. We can choose one of the predefined names, so let's say the ground floor, save it, done. I'd like to add the top floor as well because I have a 2-story house. That's my attic. I save it, done, and so on and so forth. What I have to do now is I have to jump into each floor and draw my actual floor plan in the ground floor in this case. So now we have new items over here, and it's drag and drop again. So drag an item, drop it on the floor plan. You can change the size, you can change the shape, you can turn it around, but for demonstration purposes I stick with this shape, and I name it living room and I save it. That's it. Back in the main menu, the second step is enabled, allocation of devices. I go into this step, and now in the bottom bar you see all devices that are actually connected to the system. So the system access point is smart, scans the whole system, knows how many devices are in the system, and even knows the device's functionality. So I have a device which can operate my light. So in this case I drag and drop this light bulb on my floor plan, and of course in a bigger house there will be more channels, and I have to identify the channel to make sure that I'm working with the right output. In this case we have just one channel that operates a light, our 4-gang switch with inbuilt dimmer. But if we would have more here, you would have to identify it, and there are three different ways of identifying a selected channel. First is you click the icon in here, and you will see on the board that the LED is switched on. I hope you can see it good enough. So off and on. So that means everything you do here during the system setup is done online, and you see all changes straight away without any device addressing, without any uploading of programs. It's straightforward. So I now this is my ceiling lamp, for example. That's okay. I give it a name. Okay. I give it a name and save it. So what happens now is one icon is here. This is my icon for the output, my dimmer channel. It has detected the type of load automatically, and there's a second icon which is my 4-gang switch sitting on top of my dimmer channel. I have some items left. There's a blind relay behind the 2-gang switch. I test this as well. You should see the red arrow which points up and down, and that's it. I name it window, save it, done. Relay icon, switch icon, I place it where it actually is in my room, and I'm done. Last device left, my room thermostat, drag and drop. I can test it. This is probably too small now for you. You're usually able to see the changes I do here on the small screen display of my room thermostat. I save it and I'm done. Now my bottom bar is empty, and I'm sure that I've allocated all the devices connected to the system. Of course, A blind relay needs to know when it has reached its top end position and bottom end position. You can start just by clicking on the icon, a calibration, which is a small wizard now, and you're guided through some steps to set up the relay properly. So first of all, we have to select the type of relay. Let's say we have a blind. We go on with the next step. We have to wait until the blind has reached its top end position, so it's moving automatically. I tell the system now the blind has reached its top end position. I stop it, go on with the next step, and now I measure the time until the blind has reached the bottom end position. It moves down. Let's say it's 5 seconds. I stop it, go on with the next step. I move the blinds up again. Another 5 seconds. I can rotate the slats now to adjust them, and that's it. Calibration has been done. Straightforward, pretty easy, quick. Until you haven't completed the setup, there will be the question mark in the icon of the blind relay, and yeah, so that you know that you still have to do some work after you confirm this. It's gone, and the relay knows where it is. Back in the main menu, the next 2 steps are enabled, and I can go on and can follow these 2 steps. I would like to go on with link devices and loads, create groups and scenes. It looks pretty similar, the view, but I have now different items in the bottom bar. These are groups, group controls and scene controls. But first of all, I would like to show how easy it is to unlink a switch from a load, or to link a new one, to do whatever you want or whatever is the best for the circumstances you find in the house. Therefore, you select a switch, for example. This is my switch, which is connected to my blind relay. The line shows that they are related to each other. By clicking on the blind icon, the line is gone. I save it, and I'm no longer able to operate the relay with the switch. I push it, I really push it, and there's nothing happening. I reconnect it, I save it, and you should see the red light again, and the blind is moving. That means that even if a switch is a switch and an output is together in one device, the connection is not hardwired. It's just intelligent linking, unlinking of switches from outputs, and quite easy and online as well. So you see the changes you've done, and you could go together with your customer through the house and give every switch the functionality he wants to have. Creating a scene or group control is drag and drop again. So either you choose one of the predefined scenes, like the all-off scene over here, drag and drop it, and the predefined scene all-off is smart, scans the whole floor plan and connects all the light channels in the house. At the moment we have just one, so this is why just the ceiling lamp is connected to the all-off scene, and it switches everything off. This is a nice, comfortable feature having related to a push button, let's say next to your door. When you leave the house, you want to make sure that everything is switched off. Lights, power points, whatever you want. And the panic scene is another predefined scene, nice to have next to your bed. If you hear something downstairs, you push the button and everything is switched on. So the panic scene has scanned the whole floor plan, connected each light channel and switched everything on. So on the board you should see now that the LED, that the light bulb is switched on. And of course I can create my individual scene, drag and drop the icon with new scene, the new scene icon, drop it on the floor plan, and you are now able to select the devices you want to control with this scene. So I want to control with this scene my ceiling lamp, my window, blind relay, and my room thermostat. I want to activate this scene during watching TV because it's nice having a good atmosphere during watching TV. I want to dim my light down to, let's say, 43%, and my blinds should be moved down to halfway roughly, and I want to have a nice and warm temperature of 22 degrees. I save it. That's it. What I haven't done so far, I haven't linked a scene to a push button, but that's easy. As I've shown it before, just select an unused one. The foregoing switch has on the right hand side unused push buttons. I select this one, and I could connect it to the ceiling lamp again or to my blind relay, but I can also connect let's say the TV scene and trigger the TV scene with this push button. I save it. I change the setting on the boards first so that you can see that there's something happening, and I've connected it to this push button over here. I push it and the blinds are moved, the lights are dimmed, and the temperature is set. Back in the main menu, the fourth step is called time control, and yeah, time control, as it says, is the menu where you can set commands to switch on a light every morning at 6 o'clock, for example, switch off the light every night at 10 o'clock, set the room temperature at 4 o'clock so that it's nice and warm at home when you come back from work. You can pretty much select all the devices you have in the system and drag and drop them again. So we have now the days of the week and the time of the day, and in our list view the devices we can work with. Select, for example, the blind relay, drag it, and the vertical axis gives you the status you can choose for the blind. For example, I want to have this blind opened every morning quarter past 6, except for Saturday and Sunday. I save it. Done. And of course I want to close this blind every evening 10:30, except for Saturday and Sunday. Done. You can drag and drop scenes, light values, temperatures, everything. And another benefit of our time profiles is that the so-called present simulation monitors the behavior of your customers over the last 7 days, and if they are not at home, they can activate this present simulation, and the home automation system does whatever the customer has done the last 7 days. So it seems that someone is at home. Security functionality. In the main menu there is a fifth and last step. It is disabled at the moment because we don't have connected 7-inch touchscreen, but if we had connected it, this would be enabled, and we could drag and drop up to 16 devices on the touchscreen, and that's it. So after just a couple of minutes we have finished this setup of the system. And what we've done simultaneously, so it's not an additional step, we have created our graphical user interface for the customer already. So at the moment we are in the configuration view, and we can change it to operation view by clicking on this icon on the right hand side. The application is loaded, and we see the floor plan. We haven't drawn anything in the attic, So this is why there is not there isn't any floor plan. But in the ground floor plan there is our living room and all the devices we have allocated and programmed in there, and we are now able to operate everything from here. So switching on and off lights, dimming off lights by dragging the icon, moving off blinds by dragging as well. And this is the same view on your iPad, and the view on the iPhone is a little bit different because it's much smaller. There you will have the list view. The list view gives you all the rooms of your house, and each room with its devices, so you can control everything from here as well. And of course you can define your favorites so that you have favorites in the graphical user interface. It doesn't matter on which floor you are, you will always have them with you. Start the editing mode, select devices, and they will appear in the list. You can save it, and now you can operate everything from here as well. But that's it. That's how easy it is to set up Free at Home. Easy, straightforward, fast, quick. You'll save a lot of time during the system setup, and yeah, I don't think that anyone needs a 5-day training to be able to work with this system. We'll now go back to just one slide, and then the webinar is almost over. We'll then have our Q&A session, and yeah, that's it. Marcom tools. Which Marcom tools do we provide to make it easy for you? We have a B2B brochure for you as electrical contractor with more details, overviews, and yeah, many more advantages which the Free at Home provides. We do have as well a B2C brochure used by you to convince your customers to buy Free at Home. We have a system manual, roughly 80 pages, which is a very detailed manual, and will help you to be able to set up a system. We have an order code overview. This is just a 4-page document which shows you the whole product range with order code and yeah, little pictures. And we have the ABB-free at Home homepage, on which all the tools are saved, and you can go there and download the brochures, a soft copy, system manuals, order codes from there, and feel free to watch the videos, which are also on the homepage, and will give you a 60 seconds overview of installation and wiring, on commissioning, on what are the benefits for the end customer and what are your benefits. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for your attention, and let's start with the Q&A session. Question one is, the system seems very good and I can see a lot of advantages. Do you offer demos for companies if they are required? Yes, we do, definitely, and this is why you can at the moment see the details. Give me a call, send me an email, send me a text, and we'll arrange a meeting, a training, whatever you want. And as I said before, we have 2,000 ABB employees in the country, and they are close. So do not hesitate to send an email, to give us a call. Second question, does this system interface with a door entry system? Yes, it does, with our welcome M door entry system. It is the 7-inch touchscreen is the interface which makes the free at home system and the welcome M system communicating to each other. Third question, can the homeowner reconfigure the layout or do they have to get the electrician back to make the changes? No, they don't need to go back to the electrician, they can do it themselves. So they do it the same way I set up the system. They can do the changes themselves, but to make sure that they don't mess up the system, save a backup on the system access point and tell them how to restore it just in case. Another question, is retrofitting possible using this system or is it new builds only? It is possible to use it in retrofitting. This is why we offer two different types of switches. For retrofitting we recommend to use the switches with inbuilt output. That means that you can utilize the existing 240 volt cabling and you just need to rewire the twisted pair free at home bus. We have another question coming in. How many colors are available for the switches? For the Senate switch range we have 4 main colors, the white, anthracite, silver and champagne, and we do have more frames. So we have real material glass frames, white and black. We do have stainless steel and even wooden frames. Another question, what current rating do the relay have? So we have a 4-gang relay for MDRC device which has 16 amp, and we have an 8-gang relay MDRC which has 6 amp. And the switches with inbuilt relay, they have 16 amp as well. Another question, in the future would it be possible to communicate over the 240 volt cabling instead of having to run the twisted pair to save labor? It's a very young product, it's just one year old, so there is plenty going on in terms of development, and it's a global product, so there is a lot of development behind it, but it is not on the schedule to have communication over the 240 at the moment, but there might be other ways of communication coming soon. Another question is, what is the maximum number of devices that it can control? The maximum number is 64 devices. That means, a switch, for example, is one device, and a 4-gang relay in the MDR-CD unit is not 4 devices, but is 1 device, and the 8-gang relay is 1 device as well. So if you want to have, let's say, 20 4-gang relays, then you would have 80 light channels, and that should be enough for a residential house and apartment. Another question, do we offer training to electricians? Yes, we do. Just give us a call, send us an email, talk to our central sales service, or directly to me, and we'll arrange something for you. How can we get our hands on this product? Where is it available? It is available through the wholesaler. So get in contact with us and we'll arrange the channel through the wholesaler to you guys. Does anyone have any further questions you'd like me to answer? Okay, I'd like to thank today's viewers that tuned into today's Voltimum webinar. We now have a 30-second survey if you would like to participate. Thank you and goodbye.